the NFL. Take a look at the 20 teams that start OTAs this week. So it is time for an Overreaction Monday. Dan, is it an overreaction that bringing back Aaron Rodgers means that the Steelers will repeat as AFC North champions?
Of course it's an overreaction. They won it on a missed field goal in the last game last year. Aaron Rodgers comes back at 42 years old. Is he going to play every game? He missed one last year, but that's pretty good. Is he going to play 16 games again? I think it's a lot to ask him at this point in his career. I just think they're going to get a pretty tough challenge this year. Let me put it that way.
Okay, so an overreaction theirs, and who do you think is the best team in that division?
I'm, of course, go to Baltimore Ravens. You talk about Jesse Mentor, maybe being crowned the next big thing is when it comes to defense. You know, Baltimore getting back to physicality, Lamar Jackson, new offense. He's there. He's present. They got to get a new deal worked out. But I would go with the Baltimore Ravens as the safest bet in that division.
I like Baltimore. They threw a lot of resources out of weakness, which was their front seven. Trey Hendrickson drafting Sion Young, Calais Campbell, and then hopefully Nami Madubuike comes back to full strength. But Trey Hendrickson is a real difference maker, and it's great, guys, when you can help your team and hurt a division rival, much the way Baltimore did with Cincinnati.
That would hold up if Cincinnati had been trying to re-sign Trey Hendrickson, but they weren't. So,
well,
Cincinnati has. I think they're the favorites in my eyes. They've done enough on defense. The offense is elite as long as Burrow stays healthy, which is an if. I get it, but these off years sometimes he'll alternate between an injured year and a healthy one. I just feel like, you look at the schedules. I saw a stat they're currently favored to win 15 of their 17 games. I think it's set up for Cincinnati, the only team in the division that didn't change head coaches, to ride that continuity and win the division.
I'm with you, Bengals. And your original continuity means something. Let's move to the West now. Keep the overreaction going. Patrick Mahomes' recovery means that the Chiefs will be back atop the AFC West. Dan, is that an overreaction?
It is. Look, I'm not going to put anything past Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and the Chiefs, but they have to overcome the Broncos, who were the 1 seed, the Chargers, who had a very good record. Both of those are playoff teams. We don't know what Mahomes is going to be like right away coming off of the injury. All positive updates. It sounds like he's got a real good chance to play week 1. Until we see it, until we see that offense function at a little bit higher level than it has in years past, I think the division is worthy of enough respect that I think we can't assume the Chiefs just vault right back to the top.
The division, aside Vegas, has all come up to Kansas City, whereas before they were just dominating that thing when some of those programs were down. Same drill. Best team in this division is who?
I'm going to go with the Chargers, and I really like what they've done in the offseason, starting with Mike McDaniel. I think they're going to run the ball more. They retooled the offensive line, and then defensively, they went out and they drafted Akeem Messidor, who I think is going to be a really good pass rusher, even though he's a little bit older. So I like what Denver's doing. I just think, at the end of the day, Justin Herbert's talent should be the difference between him and Bo Nix in terms of what I think the Chargers could do and win the division this year.
And if Omarion Hampton can stay healthy, he's like getting a bonus pick back from a year ago. Who do you think is the best team in this division?
I'm going to go with the Chargers as well. You talk about year 3 of the hardball experience is usually when teams take everything over. I think it leaves a little bit to be desired as far as the wide receiver spot. But if Justin Herbert is going to be the superstar that we think he is, I think this is the year where he has to take over. Still concerned with Bo Nix and his injury. Jalen Waddle is a tremendous pickup for them to give him another weapon, but I would probably go with the Chargers right now.
It's a sweep. I'm taking the Chargers. Chargers and Bengals, 2 teams that never let you down. What could possibly go wrong? I agree. I mean, Harbaugh's building a program there. They've been right on the cusp. What they were able to do last year with those two tackles being hurt all year, like if those guys are back healthy, Mike McDaniel could help take Justin Herbert to another level.
And they have the one quarterback that comes into the season healthy.
Yep.
That's got to count for something.
It's like McDaniel is the biggest offseason acquisition. I think the power swings his direction. He's like Greg Roman when you talk about the sophistication of his run game, but he still has the nuance to be able to throw the football down the field. That was something that Greg Roman always struggled with, is the throwing part of football. He's tremendous with the running. Mike McDaniel does both at a high level.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, maybe, again, quarterback and coach in the other division, the difference.
Only got a little bit more corkier than Harbaugh himself.
Can you wait till those? I mean,
oh, my God. You saw him in the draft room. You saw how crazy it could get.
That's going to be fascinating. I want cameras on those two all season long. Finally, we switch gears to the NFC. Dan, is it an overreaction that the Rams have done enough this offseason to unseat the defending Super Bowl champion Seahawks in the division and NFC?
It's not an overreaction. overreaction, and that's no disrespect to Seattle either as champions. These two teams were as close as it could possibly be last year. You're talking about an absent-minded failure to pick up a two-point conversion, a loose ball in the end zone on what later became a two-point conversion, being the difference between being the one seed in the conference and a wild card. Obviously, the Rams are right there. They've addressed the secondary. If Matthew Stafford can stay healthy all year, they're going to be formidable. I don't think it's out of the question they knock off Seattle.
All right, we're going out of the division. We're going complete NFC, Bart.
Okay.
What do you have?
I'm going with the Rams. I mean, I think they're a team that has the best quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in football. He's the reigning MVP. I think to be able to address the special teams was really what kills them. If they just had average special team play, I think they would have been in the playoffs in the number one seed. And now you add the fact that they went out and get McDuffie to be able to handle that back end. That front end is only going to get better with those young, talented pass rushers.
Plus, they have Ty Simpson now, so.
Yeah,
I'm going Seattle. As Dan mentioned, 3 games by 7 points. But
legit.
Seattle's quarterback is younger. He'll get better. And the Rams quarterback is holding on. And Jadarian Price, first-round pick, more explosive than Kenneth Walker.
So you believe in redemption stories, but you don't believe in Deshaun Watson?
That was last hour.
He's been hanging on to that one.
Wow.
He's been hanging on to that one. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, let's talk Browns course. And the Bears had 6 fourth-quarter comebacks during the regular season for the Bears this past year. Bears quarterback coach J.T. Barrett believes Williams' 3rd season should be more about making the easy throws and less about the heroics. Barrett told the Chicago Sun-Times late in some of those games we were making some heroic plays when it wasn't necessary. If we execute in the first quarter and second quarter, we can be difficult and take what the defense is giving. You don't necessarily have to put the cape on and make those crazy plays because you already were killing them in the first 3 quarters. Caleb, sensational when the Bears needed him, but he was more inefficient compared to his rookie season. 2024 completion percentage already low at 62%. Last year dropped to 58%, which was the 2nd lowest in the league, only to rookie J.J. McCarthy.
That's
Never want to be on that list.
no, it's not the list you want.
Fixable?
Absolutely. And I think you can do it through game planning and how you call a game early on. Caleb Williams is way too talented to have a 58% completion percentage, which was 28th in the league. Get the ball off his hands early. I love what Coach Barrett was talking about. Take easy completions. There's 5, 6, 7 more completions per game when you watch the Bear tape. And if you do that, his completion percentage will go up. They will be harder to beat. Sometimes for a young quarterback, it's hard for them to understand the second best thing that happens in a pass is an incompletion. And I know that sounds really basic, but you don't have to take those big sacks, the turnovers, and the completion percentage will come. And I think if you're a little bit more conservative game play, the way you call a game early on, we'll see an improved Caleb Williams. And with his upside, he easily could be in the MVP conversation.
That was the knock coming at him out of college. He tried to play hero ball too much and do the unthinkable rather than the smart play.
You don't always have to be the main story, character in the story. You talk about greatness is doing the routine things, easily, right? So stepping the ball back, believing in your teammates. They've surrounded him with tremendous talent. Give them the balls in their hands. Let them do the work. They've been there. They're more accustomed to doing it. And you can't continue to rely on this defense getting turnovers because it wasn't a very good defense. They lost a lot of key players. You can't expect them to have that turnover. I can't see them having that turnover rate that they had, last year. That was ridiculous.
I get and appreciate what J.T. Barrett is saying, and I think that they can work on it. Like, Ben Johnson gets there year 1. He wanted Caleb Williams to reduce negative plays. He already had his interceptions low, but Ben Johnson was preaching to him, there are other negative plays that we need to iron out of your game. So the completion percentage could be something that they work on here in year 2, and I sort of trust Ben Johnson and his program, what he set up around Caleb Williams. Early returns obviously excellent. I just hope he doesn't get rid of the hero stuff. It's so much fun.
It's great. It is. No. I agree.
As a fan of the game, I really want to continue to see the fourth quarter stuff.
And context is everything. There is a time and place. I think that's what J.T. Barrett was talking about.
Yes.
Sure.
But early in games, get the ball out of your hands.
Yes.
To Bart's point,
long
handoffs. Get it to the playmakers, and we'll be talking about 65, 68% in terms of completion percentage.
Still the team to beat in this division?
I don't think so, no. I don't expect the Lions to be down for long. That's an excellent team that was a 15-game winner just 2 seasons ago. They had injuries. It seems like they've addressed the line. Bears' schedule will be tougher. Brutal division.
I mean, they're going to be hunted and not be the hunters anymore. I'm still talking to the Minnesota Vikings. I think, you talk about reclamation projects. I think talent-wise, most talented offensive personnel in that division.
You know what's tricky about the Bears? They may be a better team with a worse record, just given the way the turnovers went. The whole idea of
schedule's the big one, right? Yeah. We're judging you based on last year's schedule. It changes every year, and we'll see that with the Patriots maybe when we look at their schedule coming into the upcoming season. All right, let's get up and go. Beginning